and it looks like it's going to have to be modified straight out of the packet. So what's unusual about that? Welcome back to Garage K. In this video I'm going to do a little bit of an introduction to a new product that I got and show you how it works. The next bunch of videos that I have is sort of starting a new project, so I don't want to put some of those in this video and then sort of mix them all up. So I'm going to end this one a little bit short probably, and then start the next video fresh with something that you haven't seen before, that nobody's done before. So stay tuned for that. Let me just introduce you to this little guy. This is the DS202 oscilloscope. As you can see, it's tiny, but it's a really cool bit of kit. Aluminium case and a lot of functionality that I know nothing about. But I bought it so that I could set up my audio system in the truck. And by that I mean set the gains and figure out what's the loudest points I can set this thing up at. Anyway, regardless of that, this is how you set it up. Put the alligator clip on the center post of the RCA and have the probe thing going to the outside, because that's just the way it works. You could switch that, it wouldn't make a difference. Now be careful. One thing that I figured out is that you need to make sure you're on the right RCA. If you're not getting any output on here, try a different RCA, because this head unit that I'm using is weird, and it has it splits its frequencies automatically out of the RCAs. I think it's like it's got 3 sets of RCAs. So 1 would be highs, 2's mids, and 3 is sub. So be careful that you're on the right RCA. Took me a few shots to figure out that I need to be on the blue RCA, not the grey one. Anyway, so what I've got is I've got a bunch of sine waves. You can't see, there we go. What I've got is a bunch of sine waves here, and I'm going to be setting using the 0 dB. So at the moment I am on track 35 because I want 0 dB 1 hertz. And I just set that up so that I could set this up and make sure that it actually worked. Now on the screen you can see that it is, what's 9 point, oh there you go, 1, yeah, it's about 1 kilohertz. And it's very difficult to film, but anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to adjust the volume. As you can see, 34, 30, as you can see, 55, 56. Now watch what happens to the wave. 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, and see how the top of that, the curve goes flat like that? That means the signal's clipping, and you'll get distortion no matter what you do. So why would I want to know this? Change track, there we go, still there. So need to make sure that I stay, we're on 61 now. 62, 61, 62. 62 is clipping, 61 is not. So 61 is my absolute max volume that I can use this head unit on for 1 kilohertz. Now I need to try a bunch of different frequencies, and the reason for that is that it might output higher on a different frequency, so you check a bunch of them, make sure that none of them clip, and then you're good to go. Move on to the amplifier. Okay, while you watch me fumble around moving this truck around, I want to talk to you a little bit more about the oscilloscope and the sine wave. What I've done there is I've got the RCAs coming straight out of the head unit to the back of the truck. Now I connect the oscilloscope up to that so that I can see what the head unit is outputting. I need to know that the head unit isn't clipping before I put those inputs into the amplifier, because if I have a clipping signal going into the amplifier, well, I'm fucked before I start, right? So you get a clean signal going into the amplifier. Then once you know that all of the frequencies that you're putting into the amplifier are clean, then you start testing the speaker outputs of the amplifier, and that will make sure that your signal is always clean, if you know what I mean. Okay, we gave her a bit of a jump start and she's running. It's cold, look at that. My fake deafy is going crazy over there. Beepy beepy. Yeah, I don't know what else to show you really. Alright, so what I've got is I've got 1 kilohertz playing here from my Audio Frog tuning CD. And I've got all my speakers disconnected on the negative side so that I don't get any audio out of the speakers. And I've got my oscilloscope connected up to the positive and negative, and I can see that here. I'll just show you this. I've got this special little tool that I made for adjusting the gains, and I'll just move the gain towards max and then back to minimum to show you what it does on the oscilloscope. Now you watch me move that there. See how the sine wave goes flat, flat, curved, flat, curved. You always want to keep that curved, because if it's flat, that's the amp clipping, and that's bad. That's very, very bad. Kill amp. So I've got a nice sine wave there. I'm using absolutely hardly any gain at all. I'm not sure how this is going to sound. Probably really quiet. Anyway, so that's how I set my gains. I need to do it for the other 2 channels, and then for the subwoofer, and then we're good. So I've connected up to channel 3 on the oscilloscope, got the sine wave playing 1 kilohertz, turn my crossovers all the way up, and I'm just going to adjust this, turning, flat, back it off, zoom in, flat there, so I'll just go back to there, and that's the channel 3 and 4 set. So yeah, that's it for this episode. Thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, leave a comment if you like. I'll see you in the next video. Later.